So could you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Zohreh. I'm a third year PhD student. I study physics, light matter interaction in specific, and it's been 3 years that I've been living in Okinawa and studying in OIS.
And where are you from?
I'm from Iran, Tehran.
Hi, I'm Yaghoub. I'm from Tehran. I'm still a bachelor student, but I'm here intern at a complexity unit. I've been here for 6 months, and
How do you like Okinawa?
I like it. It's very different from the city that I come from because Tehran is a big city with city vibes, but here you are really next to nature and a very different casual environment. In the beginning it was a bit hard for me to get adapted, but now I really enjoy it. I mean, for a short stay, I really like it. I really enjoy being in Okinawa.
well, for me, I used to live in Tehran. Tehran is a really, really big city, and well, the whole situation here is different. It's more like you see more nature here. You see a better sky, and it has a really, really low density of population. So first I came here, the first thing I noticed about here was here people are not honking all the time. So yeah, it's completely opposite of Tehran. So yeah, the whole environment was different. Yeah, but I can say that I can say that Okinawa is more like north of Iran. So when I came here, I was so shocked that it's completely looked like north of Iran. That it's like it's a green space and everywhere is looked like here, and also humid. So yeah, I think.
I would say I feel like a PhD is really kind of tough and hard, and it's good that we don't have some pressure from the lifestyle that you experience in big cities. It gives you, I mean, more space to relax, to just focus on your project. Less stress about other aspects of life. And so it makes, I feel like for a long-term PhD study, it really helps to a bit chill and just focus on the research. I think it's good maybe for long run. I'm not sure I can stay in Okinawa forever, but for a PhD study, I feel like it's actually nice. It's relaxing, and it helps you be relaxed while you are working. I like it, I would say.
Tell me more about the difference between Okinawa and your home city. So what did you mention during that time?
Well, first of all, Tehran is more like a really an average dense city. Like let's say it's more like New York City, or if you want to compare. But you can completely see that everyone in Tehran is busy, or they are all busy, and here, well, you see some kind of some relaxation in the space, and it's not a very dense, let's say, tense city. And of course, the nature here is beautiful. Opposite of Tehran, Tehran is a industrial city. And about the people, well, here people are like really polite, of course. In Tehran, it's a kind of Middle Eastern city, Middle Eastern citizens. So it has its own culture, but it's different. And let's say, for example, in Tehran, people are like more they want to be polite with but there is some rules, unwritten, non-written rules that, for example, in we have a something, we call it ta'aruf.
Yes.
Yeah, and in Iran, it's actually it's some kind of cultural definition that exists in the whole Iran, and maybe other countries in Middle East, that you want to be polite, you have to sometimes offer something, even if you don't want to offer, and the person
You should pretend.
they should refuse, even if they don't want to refuse.
It's complicated.
So yeah, actually the culture in Iran, cultural things are so complicated, and how you want to behave is completely different.
So
Maybe
about you,
want-
Zakaria, what do you think? So you've been living for 3 years, and I guess you mentioned like quite similar between Iranian and Japanese people, like pretending to be polite, right?
Yes, I think culture-wise we are sharing many aspects actually, because unlike European countries that are very straightforward, I feel like people in Iran or Japan tend to hesitate about showing their real, sometimes real feeling about some situations, and they try to be as polite as possible, and I mean, yes, I could tell we have something in common in terms of culture, and Japanese people are also doing their best to show their politeness like Iranian people, but as Yaghoub said, I would say people in Japan are really calm, really patient, which is not really happening these days in Iran, maybe because of the current situation back in Iran, or in general, I feel like Iranian people are less patient. In the beginning, when I came here, I felt like everywhere is really quiet because I feel like Japanese people speak very slowly, but back in Iran, for example, we like to speak very loudly, and the whole environment, specifically in public area, is very different, I would say. But it's interesting. I mean, Japan is very clean. Okinawa, I would say, is very clean. You really enjoy being in public places. It's not chaotic, because sometimes in Tehran you just really experiencing chaos. But I think it's not the case in Okinawa at all. I really enjoy it.
So does it mean that you change your behavior? So after living in Japan for such a long time, it means you try to adapt to the local culture, right?
I think I have changed actually. I was really less patient, and I was really all the time trying to get things done as fast as possible. I mean, it was very different. I think I've changed during these years. I rather enjoy and take my time to do things, but Japanese people are famous for being hardworking. You need to compensate by putting more time maybe, but in general I feel like I've changed a little bit, and I feel less stressed compared to past, I would say.
So last October or November I met your sister, right?
Yes, exactly.
So she was visiting you, and did she tell you that you changed?
Yes, actually, she told me. She told me you've changed a lot. You were more impatient, I would say, but now you are really calm. You take your time. I mean, I think when she doesn't live in Iran, she lives in US. When we went to mainland, she said, "Oh my God, Tokyo is really different from my expectation. Japanese people are really calm, neat, clean. It's not chaotic, the city, even Tokyo." And we both could tell that it's very different from Iran in terms of this aspect. But yes, she also told me I have changed a bit. Yeah,
So I
not
think
a bit, a
it's
lot.
so I think it's a positive experience, right?
Yes, to me it was really a positive experience because being stressed out for long run, you can imagine it's really, I mean, annoying. But here I feel less pressure. I mean, it's yes, I think it was a very positive experience for me.
Is the place for just a trip, for living here for a while? So is the place for work or is the place for science, like you do?
Well, this is completely depends on the person and what they like. But this can be a really good place for living. It can be a really good place for science. It can be a really good place for swimming. And maybe some people like to live in a more populated place or more dense place, like some place that it has more kind of fun or industrial fun, let's say, you know. But also some people really like to stay in a calm and less dense place. And well, for those people, I think always is a really good place because it's near. It's also far from the main population of Okinawa, and it's in the center of a real beautiful nature. And yeah, it's a really it's a relaxation here. So if you like it, you're gonna enjoy your time here.
To me, Okinawa first is good for snorkeling. I like it. I really enjoy. And second, it's not perfect for cycling, but I really enjoy cycle here because it's a bit up and down. It's a bit maybe hard to cycle, but I really enjoy. I enjoy the scenery. I enjoy the nature while I'm. Actually cycle. As I told you before, I feel like yes, it's a good place for research because it gives you peace of mind to focus on your research. But for long run, I mean long-term life, I'm not sure if I want to stay in Okinawa. But the other day we were talking with my friends, maybe for the retirement time, it's actually a nice place to be.
Well, I guess local people, they live quite isolated, so still there are many foreigners coming to Okinawa, right? Like tourists, researchers, like Americans, right? But I guess the interaction between local and foreigners is very limited. So
Yes.
can you guess about why it's happened?
I think the main reason is language barrier. For example, sometimes when we go out, you can tell Okinawan people are really kind and curious about what you are from, what are you doing in Okinawa, but always language barrier doesn't let us make any conversation. We make simple sentences. I just simply use some Japanese word. Okay, I'm a student. I'm from, for example, Iran, and they are really willing to know more. But always this language barrier doesn't let us to interact with each other. And some part of it maybe comes from the culture. As far as I know, I've heard Okinawa is pretty different from mainland. But I mean, this sort of hesitation or shyness that exists in Japanese culture also might be another reason that we don't get to know each other that much. I used to go to karate class just to get to see more Okinawan people, but to be honest, it didn't really help. Yes, because most of the time we were just practicing something. It was not other than that. Yeah. Yes, I think language barrier is the main reason that we cannot get to talk to each other a lot. Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it?
Well, I think language barrier is a really fair answer to this question, and I think if it wasn't, if the language barrier didn't exist, then people would be more willing to ask about other people's culture. For example, I was a month ago. I was at Ishikawa for
Procedure.
for
Getting a haircut.
yeah. And when I was talking with my friend in Persian, the person there, I just asked me. I think he was Okinawan. He asked me that which language you speak, and I said Persian, and he was like kind of excited, but he didn't continue the conversation. So I think also there can be some kind of shyness, but that doesn't mean they are not willing to explore more kind of information about other people or other countries or other cultures.
But maybe it's just like basic politeness, so they just ask you some kind of like basic questions,
Yes.
and that's enough.
Yes.
So they don't want to go further.
Yes, this can be also too. I mean, people want to be polite and meet in their culture. It can be kind of disrespectful if you start questioning too much people.
Yes, maybe.
So that makes sense.
That could be another reason. By the way, when it happened to me sometimes that when I speak in Persian, Japanese people ask me, "Are you French?" So no, I'm not. I think maybe it happens to me a few times. Have you ever experienced it?
No,
here?
no.
Okay. Maybe me pronounce some words similar to French accent, and they told me actually a few times, "Are you French?" And I said, "No."
What about food? Here in Okinawa, food is kind of unique, and I guess if you go to mainland, it's slightly different. Not completely different, but slightly different. And when you compare the food with food from your home country, so what do you think about? Is it like very different or something similar there is?
Well, first of all, I had no chance to experience mainland food, and here also I just had the experience of the oyster food and also some food like pretty food at convenience stores. So let's say first I'm not sure about the difference between foods here and the mainland, but here it has completely different foods, and let's say the packs are like more let's say everything is inside each other, like the rice balls.
You mean very compact, very little?
Yeah, everything is completely not just limited. I mean, of course, it's the people's definition of a complete meal is completely different to Iranian or like Middle Eastern culture, and also. But here, for example, it was kind of surprising to me to see that people will. There is something like sandwich, but it's not sandwich, but it's like rice balls. So yeah, I mean, I can't say that I know Okinawan food well, but about Iranian food, well, first of all, we like to put everything on the same plate. Yeah, so
and
rice.
Portion.
Yeah. rice and other components of the food. So I heard about the difference between my culture, I mean Iranian culture, and Asian culture. That in Asia, people like to separate things from each other, if on the like different plates for different components. But in Iran, people like to just put everything on the same plate and then call it, for example, cholo khoresh. I don't know what's some kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like a mixed thing. But I agree with you. First, portion is way bigger.
Yeah,
in
of
Iran.
course.
Second, I would say our cuisine is pretty complicated. I mean the foods are full of flavor,
Even-
different spice. I mean, it's very elaborate, I would say, our cuisine. But compared to Japanese people, Japanese cuisine, which is pretty simple, I would say.
Yeah, it was-
But side dishes in Japan are impressive. Pickles, I don't know, soup. I mean, it's like a bento. I mean, I don't know if it's a good exact word to use it. They have many side dishes, but we just focus on the main food.
Yeah.
Yes, and eating salad is very common in Iran, which is not
Yeah.
really common here, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say it's very different because our cuisine is really detailed, elaborate. I mean, many ingredients you need to make a single food. It's different. It's very different, and it took me time to get used to the food here. But it was a good. I mean, I enjoyed it as a change. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
What about Okinawa champuru? You know, it's kind of, it's also like they put like everything like together into the dish, like egg, goya, maybe some, I don't remember what, like bacon, yeah. So do you think it's similar to Okinawa, to
Iran?
Iranian?
No, actually, I can't tell if we have the same dish here as this food in Iran.
Well, first of all, I never said it's food, but here, but I think you mean that's the overview of the food, like the.
Like the concept, right? The concept
Yeah,
of food.
yeah, exactly. So if the concept is similar, I would say. Yeah, but if I don't think usually it's this combination of components together in Iran.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so do you have any funny stories about you living in Japan or in Okinawa?
Well, when I came here, when I came to Tokyo, I was about to go to the hotel, but meanwhile, when I was at the bus, I noticed everything is new, and I was waiting until I see something that is not new, and the whole city was shocking to me. The whole city looked like it made 1 hour ago. Like everything was super clean and super new to compared to Tehran. And of course, when after I came to the Okinawa, I noticed that it's completely similar to north
Small
of Iran.
villages,
Yeah, like I
Really
wasn't sure. I mean, even like the ground, everything, the plants, everything was completely similar to north of Iran. It was like, are you guys sure that you took me to the Okinawa or north of Iran? And well, then I noticed Japanese people, and I make sure that I'm in Okinawa. But also, I came here. I was sure that I'm not gonna try sushi. I mean, like
Never ever.
yeah, it was like I'm not gonna tolerate the raw fish. Then my PI invited me to the restaurant for dinner, and then they ordered sushi, and I was like, I didn't came here hundreds of kilometers, no, thousands of kilometers, and coming here not try sushi. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, and I have it, and it was really good. I mean, I didn't expect to. I mean, I'm gonna like it, and it was really really good experience.
Yes, I had the same experience actually. I said I'm not gonna try, but when I came, oh my god, I love sushi now.
Yeah.
So what about Japanese restaurants in Iran? Do you
It's
know?
very expensive
I
first,
see.
and the fish they are using is not fresh.
Yeah.
So sushi is kind of awful, I would say, and it's very expensive. You pay a lot with a very low quality food, and it's not a good representation of sushi. So when I came here, it really changed my mind. When I first tried, it was a nice experience. I had the same feeling. I'm not gonna try sushi, but it changed. I mean, it's really delicious. I like it.
So even if, when you buy like very cheap ones from convenience stores, right? it costs like 500 yen, so like around this. But the quality is good, right?
Yes, yes, I think it's good. I mean, it's acceptable at least, yeah. But back in Iran, you pay a lot, but no, it's disappointing.
Okay.
We should never try.
Actually, the cost is similar. The only thing is the cost of living in Iran is really really low. So when you compare the money you pay for sushi to, for example, the money you pay for kebab, it's like it's not gonna worth it. But yeah, if you,
And for a small portion of
yeah,
yes, not fresh fish.
yeah.
How much is a kebab in Iran?
Let's say about
Different range, yeah.
it's a start a medium kebab. It can start from $2 or $3 to, let's say, $10.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah.
Even more, I would say.
Yeah.
It really
And-
depends on the place you want to try.
Yeah, and you can really have a, for, let's say you're gonna pay for pay $5 for kebab, and you can have a really good kebab with that money in Iran. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, if I want to sell that kebab here in Okinawa, or like other places in the other nations, I'm gonna ask for 20, 30, or even $50, let's say.
So is it because of quality, right? Or
The quality, the taste, yeah. I mean, for example, here, of course, it completely depends on the how easy you can get a specific kind of meat. Here, here you can. It's a little hard to find beef, but it's really common to make to have a pork here. And in Iran, it's easy. It's easier to have lamb.
Yes, very
Yeah,
easy.
it's
Yeah,
easy.
yeah. It's very actually popular. Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you want to make a kebab, you can, let's say, you can have the kebab with lower price because of the lower price of the lamb in Iran, and also it's completely. I don't think you will use organic word for meats, but let's say it's natural. I mean, you will buy it from a non-industrial let's say,
Livestock
yeah.
market. Yes, yes, yes.
any funny stories?
There are many, but when I came here as an intern, I was living off campus building, and once I can clearly remember, it was Thursday. I wanted to take a shower, but I noticed the water is cold. I waited for a couple of minutes, and it didn't change, so I took a shower with cold water. And the day after, on Friday, when I was trying the water temperature, I noticed it's again cold. And as it was like a weekend, I didn't have access to anyone, and I was really new, and I didn't know anyone, and I was living off campus. And I remember I took shower again on Saturday and Sunday with cold water, and on Monday I went to resource center. So what the hell? What's going on? Why the water is so cold? And I noticed there is a panel on the wall, and just turned it on because of the power outage. It got turned off. I'm sorry. And apparently Japan is the only country having such a control panel, and I didn't know it, and it's not really common in Iran.
Hey guys, let's talk about Iran. So what is the current situation in Iran? What do you feel about it, and what kind of solutions can you imagine for that situation?
I wish we know the solution.
Yeah. Well, currently, Iran is in a really bad economical situation. The people are actually living in a bad economical situation. So, and the hope is not, when people are out of hope about the economical situation. That's why sometimes it will trigger them to start like protests. And well, when you are when everything is kind of out of hope, you try to find some different. You will try to change your aspect, your point of view, to change to find a new solution for your problem. For example, here, for example, in Iran, students will notice that there is no like other option to have a better life, so they will decide to go out of country. There's lots of them really like to stay at their country to live in a better life, but they think that they are not able to do so. So they will decide to just go outside to find a new life there.
Yeah, and I think I need to add, in addition to economical situation, these days we are facing with another, I would say, level of protest in our country, which is about the right of living. Because which is really appreciated, I would say. I feel like people have changed a lot, their mindset has changed. For example, they learned how to protest, how to think about their rights. I think I'm really proud of the new generation in Iran, specifically teenagers. They are really brave to shout their rights. For example, when I was a teenager, I was doing whatever I wanted to do because my family was not stopping me from being myself. But we kept hiding everything. For example, we didn't want to have any conflict with our government. But this generation, I would say, they are different. They don't want to hide their personality. They said, okay, I want to dance in the street. I don't want to have hijab. I really appreciate this courage that is amongst young generation and also teenagers. They are really brave. They know about their rights. They are looking for a way to find their rights, and it's really different from maybe a decade ago. The protest back in the day, it was coming from, for example, educated level of system, society, or some, this sort of, from universities, from this sort of, places, I don't know how to put the word on it, but now it's different. I would say all people in Iran, no matter if they are educated or not, no matter if they are young or old, they are looking for a better life because they have realized that they can make changes and they are hoping to find a way. But we are still far from any big change, but I at least have hopes. Little by little, we find a way to overcome this unfair situation back in Iran. Yes, I would say people back in Iran are dealing with different problems, economical problems, some other sort of that I mentioned. Let's hope that little by little we can find a way to make some changes.
So at this moment, what would you recommend to Iranian people? Stay calm, stay, pride, stay, be more active, or what?
Stay. No, I don't recommend to be calm. I think we have started to make a change. We should continue. We shouldn't give up. We should just try different ways. No matter if we are living inside or outside, I think there are many platforms, there are many ways that we can actually try to help people in Iran to be heard, to be supported, to be seen, and we just need more maybe creativity to find a way to be here, to be seen. No, I don't think it's a time to be calm at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I would ask them to adopt a more informed generation, because I mean even government, they will come and go, but the most important part of prosperity is the information the nation have, the knowledge they have. So, for example,
Exactly.
in the South America, people have liberty. So, but there is worse situation. I mean, there is some bad situation there. And I was asking a friend that, you know, what's wrong. I mean, we don't have like completely like completely definition of freedom, but you kind of, I mean, you guys have. So she said, and well, just because so there are some people that they are not completely knowledgeable, and uh, they have right to vote. So usually they will vote to a person who will promise them more like help, like giving them money and these kind of things. And then the government, of course, they are not able to do so, and the situation, so they will like printing money, and then the situation getting worse and worse, and people will not, most of the people will not get noticed. So if let's say a very big political change will happen in Iran, if people are not so informed and they are not knowledgeable, they will not be able to make a different kind of fate for the country. So yeah, I think even with the more knowledge and with more like education, people will be able to make stable moves.
Yes, yeah, let's hope. I feel like this time is different because people from different mindset are all gathering together just to make a change. I feel some sort of change in terms of protest back in Iran, and it makes me really hopeful about the future. I'm not sure if it's really going to happen anytime soon, but I really enjoy this intellectual maturity that is happening in our society. I think people are really more aware about what's going on, and they have summoned up their courage to make some changes, and I really appreciate it. I really like it. But let's hope that we can make it happen one day. Yeah.
And what would you say at the end to the listeners of this video? What would you...
Thanks first to make this situation for us. Living in Okinawa gave me the courage to be adventurous, I would say, because coming here was a bit strange to me, but staying here for 3 years even made it more strange because I had no plan to stay here for such long time. But I think we need to welcome these unplanned or sometimes incident, I don't know that's the word, if it's the good word, just to
Random, something random.
Yes, exactly. Yes, just to see how we can experience life in different aspects. Meeting new people in Okinawa was really interesting to me. It helped me to broaden my horizon from in different aspects of life, and it's in general it's really nice. I really like to talk to people from different nationalities and having collaboration with different groups all around the world. Yeah, from all around the world.
Well, I'm thankful because it was a really good chance to live in a plural situation. This is an international place, so there are lots of people from different places coming here, and also they will change the crowd a little. So I was living in a place full of different experiences, different spirits, and it made me able to see and understand different aspects of like humanity, cultures, and different aspects of life, let's say.